Welcome to GenWorld. We back again. It's been a big minute, huge minute, wide minute, but all of that to say, we secured a Switch too. We secured one. It's not a negative thing to not want to support $80 games. Okay, so let's start there. So a lot of these games is $70, $80. I think the only games I've seen that are $59.99 are the key card games, and those key card games ain't even got the game on the cartridge. It's download, or it might have some of the game on there, but the rest of it and a good majority of it is download. So I am not buying physical games for the Switch 2. I'm going to be looking at a digital console here because I sat down and did something with my Switch 1. I went back, looked at my digital catalog, which I got about like 30 games or something out digital. All the rest of my library is physical. But like my Mario Kart 8 and all of this in the DLC, it's all digital. I got that bought on the thing. Now, I believe those games should be downloadable on the Switch too as well. There's been no major confirmation or anything saying that, but I believe that should be the case with the store. We should be able to log in and just download our games. But I got the $500 console. I got the one with Mario Kart. And like I said, I got Mario Kart 8 digital. And I got about 300 hours for real clocked into that, and probably even more offline for real. I got a lot of time in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the original Mario Kart 8 as well on the Wii U. Put a lot of time in there too. But it's interesting now coming in. We got a new Mario Kart, which 8 was lasting so long. We was like, what would the sequel to 8 look like? They just gonna do 9, and yeah, they basically took it to a whole nother level, and they priced it accordingly as well. They obviously think that it's worth $80 physical and digital in the US. I think everywhere else is like, in Canada it's 90. I think the games in other countries are priced horrifically. I think everything has been like $100 I've seen in Canada, or like 114 after tax. Like, y'all better do not buy them physical joints. Don't do it. Just don't buy the physical joints. Now, the sad truth is that, oh yeah, this is the current generation where the industry is going to a all digital landscape. If we got everything, and this is just a thought. So this is just a thought process. Just think right quick. Think with me. We got everything basically up till now physical. So our issue is preservation going forward. So if our issue is going forward, preservation wise, we need to start thinking about newer ways or more ways of preservation outside of physical. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of folks that are versed in emulation and well versed in backing up their games, modded consoles, that entire system, we already know of ways of preservation through ROMs. A lot of these ROM sites got taken down, but their initial function wasn't piracy. And I don't condone piracy, by the way. Get everything as legal as possible. Dealing with PC and game keys, that entire thing is even a slightly gray market. But it's like, yo, niggas trying to save money, bro. We ain't trying to blow bags on these things. Because everybody keeps bringing up the argument of inflation, but arcades, Like, how many quarters would that take? How many rolls of quarters did we drop in the arcades? Because I'm pretty sure at some point we didn't care. There was no limit. There was a limit for the day, obviously, but there was no limit in your heart on how many quarters you're gonna drop in this until you beat it. And I know me personally, I'm gonna just speak for myself. I'm gonna speak for Terrence that I dropped more quarters in arcade cabinets that equal up probably way more than a lot of games, just single games that I bought. I'm talking Galaga machines. I'm talking the Miss Pac-Man and the Galaga machine. Like Miss Pac-Man and Galaga in one machine. I would be dumping quarters in Galaga and my mom would be playing the Miss Pac-Man. Shit would be going different angles. And then we're not even going to get into the Mortal Kombat, the Street Fighters, the DDRs. But I say that to even say, like, shit, I'll go deeper on that. Home ports of those arcade versions. You're damn right we bought those. You're damn right. When we got the home port of Dance Dance Revolution, Max, Rhythm and Police, Max 300. I think Exotic is in that. Revan G. But it's like, yo, we spent money on these things that actually came with peripherals to imitate the arcade version. Those dance pads were like mouse pads with chips in them. But they were so flimsy, they were like mouse pads. But you were able to get the arcade experience for $40? I think it was only $40 with the game and the pad. No, it was $30 for another separate pad without the game in it. Like, what is going on out here? It's like, Sony pulling games from PlayStation Plus. Let's pull up exactly which games those were. Let me see. I believe it was Resistance. I think it was the Resistance, both games, from being bought. And this comes from IGN. Sony pulling the first party PS3 games, Resistance, Fallen Man, and Resistance 2. So you can't even buy them unless you get the PlayStation Plus. Now I think you can get them streamed if you got the PlayStation Plus Ultimate, the big plan. But now you can't even buy it. And apparently they're removing more games. So weird enough, Resistance 3 and Retribution is going to stay on the service. But it's like, I think Infamous Second Son is getting pulled as well. It's weird. It don't make sense. I wish it made sense. Make it make sense. Why would you pull Infamous Second Son? And it's like that. No, these ain't no high on the list. Be like, hey, go play this. I'm not gonna give you a controller and say, here, play Resistance over, let's say, I'm not gonna give you no Call of Duty. I'm gonna say Time Splitters. I'll tell you to go play Time Splitters, not 2, Future Perfect, before I tell you to go and play Resistance 1 or 2. I will put No One Lives Forever in your hands before I put I would put Fear. Fear, original Fear in your hands before I put Resistance in your hands. But now I'm going to also say that to say that doesn't detract from how good Resistance is, because they are great games. And to that point is why they deserve their shot at still being purchased. Now, I know they probably got some analytics background behind the the scenes, behind the grounds. We can't see those analytics, I'm sure. I don't know how many copies that game might have sold in the past 6 months. It might be goose eggs. But at the end of the day, I think it still should be there for purchase, because then what argument do you have for piracy if that is still up for purchase, or you give away for people to buy it? Then if you see somebody streaming it, we better not hear nothing. If they want to pull that out, and now if we get these PC ports, because Unleashed already opened the doors for Xbox 360 PC ports. And we know that they're working on other consoles, if I'm correct. There was another port that I saw yesterday that it blew my mind so much I couldn't even like take a note that I saw it. Like, ports are happening for free. The port is free. Then if you own the game on the respective console it's ported from, and you know ways to get the damn files, there are multiple ways sometimes to get files. But a lot of this is documented. At least I hope it is. And not being lost to Discord's over-reliance on people wanting to put and gatekeep information to their servers. We need more forums and areas to store information that will be viewable in the format that the Wayback Machine could get it, or in any kind of way that we can. Because if Discord go down, that's it for a lot of things. Certain applications want to use Discord for authentication. Okay. Some people don't have Discord. There's some folks that don't know how to even use the bitch, let alone even want to house information in there. Getting off topic with that is, it's easy, because that's a whole rabbit hole that's very easy to go into. But getting back on track is with Sony and how they are just pulling games. They don't like to house things, I guess, because PSP servers off, PS3 servers off, the Vita servers off, but yet they still pushing updates to the PS3 for some reason every like month for some random reason, and messing up the modding scene. Now we gotta, I mean, honestly, you should, if you are in the modding scene and you have your PlayStation 3 modded, and not even in the scene, if you got your PlayStation 3 modded, make sure that bitch just don't update, because ain't nothing new coming unless it's going to be coming from the streets. You dig? Where am I streaming to? Okay, we not on Twitch. We on YouTube. And we are on Facebook. Outstanding. I got the restream running. Okay. I'll pull chat up in a second just so I can respond to stuff. But let me get this last point out. Where my notes at? Come here, bitch. Diving deeper into the thought of Sony and all of their weirdness of not really holding up the past as well as they should. They literally was on the path. The PS3 initially, when it first dropped, could play everything. We know that that launch PS3, it had problems. It was expensive as hell, but it had a full PS2 built into it. So with that, you have an entire generation. You have multiple generations in one place to not only catch everybody up. The PS3 was like its own preservation machine. It was beautiful to see. Nigga, the 4 couldn't even play audio CDs when it first dropped. It couldn't even play audio CDs. MP3s, MP4s. The PS4 couldn't do that day one. It was the biggest regression, and I know they probably wanted to build a whole new architecture because it was Power PC. PS4 was different from 3, so they had to get away from it. But it's like, why would you regress on features? So hard. My PS3 is actually still hooked up too. So when I say I'm talking my shit about it, it's like, it's right in the middle here. I have my 64, Got PS3. That's the glowing thing you see there. That's my Switch. And then I got a Super Nintendo right there. And that Super Nintendo is modded. Got wireless controllers. Got an SD card on the side. But you see it's still a cartridge in there. Yeah, it's like that. So when I speak about the consoles and their functionality, it's because I do it. It ain't like no guessing or just opinions for us. Just, it is what it is. But what's really cool is going into that is how all of that is playable right here. This is what's interesting about all of these conversations we have, and Switch 2 included, because only God knows how everything's going to go with the console security wise. Only God knows. He the only one. He the only one with the knowledge that knows how all of this is going to go down, because that Switch 2 security could be both. It could be strong. It could be beefy. It could not be. It could be the most secure platform that humans have ever created, and the military wants to. So it's like that could be real. But now let's flip it. Let's flip that. What if this is like the security on this is worse than the Switch 1? Worse. Water, by the way. What if the security is worse than the Switch 1? What if? What if the Switch 2 cannot be protected by Nintendo as much as they want it to be? That means Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm on both sides of the fence. I want the system to be secure because I would like to see Nintendo try to offer an experience that won't want me to mod the console. I would love for them to give me an experience, because I would like it. I'm going to try the Nintendo Switch Online for a year. I'm going to do a year one time and see how it goes. From 25 into 26 and see how it goes. I'm going to give them that. But the Switch 2 is not going to be my main console still, even through that. And it is because of the existence of the deck. The deck can allow me to go from Nintendo catalog over to play games that y'all ain't never heard of. And I'm talking about shit like Pac, Crazy Drake, Demon Star. Like, there are things that are playable. DX Ball 2. Alien Shooter 1 and 2. That one's not like a deep cut. It's not mainstream, but I think a lot of people know about Alien Shooter. But nigga, there are things that's playable. The Grid from Midway Arcade is playable on the deck. I even got the cheat code set up as a cheat code because Steam custom bindings let you do what the hell you want to do with it, and I just made the buttons be the cheat codes on the back. Right here. These buttons right here. Yeah, I got the wood grain back. Yes, I do. Look at the damn. I got the cheat code set up so I can press these in a specific order on the back, and it unlocks Sub-Zero in the Grid. Same for No One Lives Forever. Press T on the keyboard, hit MP, Santa, all lowercase, hit enter. All weapons, cheats, fill your health and your ammo and your armor, all of it. T, MP, M is in Mario, P is in Pan. Santa, Red Hat, gifts, Jolly, Santa, T, MP, Santa. This is for No One Lives Forever. Best cheat code, one of the best cheat codes ever. That is And the Switch can't give me that. That's where the experience is, and it's always going to be what you are looking for. This is for me. I'm not telling you that you should want this or even need it. I'm just telling you where I'm at so it can be understood when I speak so flavorfully about these things. It is understood and received. I'm not trying to push what I like on you. I'm just giving you the sauce. That's it. That's it. Because Mischief Makers was a documentary. It's a lot of insightful information in there. A lot of self-revelation. It's a lot going on in there. Especially if you collect all the goddamn gold gems. It's a beautiful ending. It's age old. And that experience can mix with the likes of Nier Automata. Then that experience can mix with the likes of Madden if you want. And then I can go and flip that on its ass and give you NFL Blitz 2025, a Nintendo 64 ROM hack with updated rosters. But it runs on NFL Blitz 2000's engine. Then let's say we don't want a game right quick. Bow, we can switch over to whatever app we want right quick. Catch up on what shows you need. Because you got the full streaming suite because the damn thing runs on Linux. So whatever flavor of streaming app and however your streaming preferences are set in your sensibilities, you can do what you want there. Last time I checked, didn't they pull YouTube off of the Switch? And it's like a console is meant for gaming, yeah. But look at the consoles. Look at what we got for the consoles. They're damn near computers, except for the Switch. The Switch is the only one that's still like a game. It's just a game console. It ain't got nothing extra. And I think that is the biggest thing to where with emulation on PC, you can't replicate the console experience. And that's where the deck kicks ass. Because not only does it replicate the console experience, it holds it. It gives you the power to cultivate something. Everybody don't want all these options. I know y'all want simplicity to a level, but I'm also the antithesis of that because we all different and everybody got their things, and the people don't like games. There are people that don't like games. They might have played them and just went through a bad experience, man. They might not like the shit. But I bet $5 Mario 3 can make you smile. If you just let it. You play Mario 3 and read the book of Genesis. Drink 2 cups of coffee, 10 push-ups. Everything will change. Everything will change, bro. You do that once a week, oh my God. And I'm not talking about just a level. I'm talking about World 1 to 8. Running through Mario 3. You can do it. It makes your brain work. It makes your brain work. And it's elegant. It connects all of the plasticity in your cells and make you remember shit longer. You got to use your brain because this bitch is losable. And damn it, like when you sitting around and you're not doing nothing, pick up the sticks. You got to let your brain work. This is a scientific thing. It's not always about fun. It's not always about fun. You can do. We have learning games. Why does everybody act like we didn't have third grade, the learning, the jump start games from first to sixth grade? They had games for each grade. Then let's go deeper. Math Blaster. Why are we acting like we weren't playing Number Munchers? Now Freddy the Fish is a problem. You should be ashamed of yourself. And it's a whole entire, like, games ain't just about, like, they don't even just waste time. You just spend an hour a day and just run through something right quick. Boom. You can just, like, be working your brain out at least. But no, we all live in our mother's basements. You can't be cool in game. They don't want that. It's crazy how the industry and a lot of developers call a lot of gamers and people, the whole political shit, call people incels and all that stuff. But yet somehow the industry is financed. And we all still, like us, like me, we still gaming. We still playing games. Got family, so people got family. People fucking. So I don't understand how it's not registering that that's a little contradictory to reality. But let them have that argument. We over here gonna have peace because we got controllers in hand. And I say that to say coexistence. I think emulation can exist alongside consoles because Steam Deck is not here to replace consoles. Steam Deck is the Sega Saturn right now. It's just another part of the story. It's not an impedance upon what's already existing. It's an addition to it. It's not taking away shit that we already got right here. It's adding to it. And I think that's hard. I think that's real hard. Because the industry itself is taking things away, where the deck has literally done nothing but give power to the players, like Nintendo claimed that they used to do. When was the last time Nintendo gave you a cheat code? Steam Deck versus Switch 2 is more accurate than the Steam Deck versus the Switch 1. Because the Switch 2 is bringing its power level up to meet. But this is what's cool. It's literally AMD versus Nvidia for consoles. Nintendo is straight up Nvidia now. When I think the first Xbox was Nvidia, even though there was Sega in there as well helping out with some stuff. But I think that was Nvidia. I got to look at the numbers, but I think that the original Xbox was Nvidia. But since then, Xbox is AMD, PlayStation's AMD, the deck is AMD, the Switch 1 and the 2 are Nvidia. So this is really cool in the console space because it's still AMD versus Nvidia to an extent. But now we got the Switch 2 using DLSS in a console. Whereas even on the deck, we've only had FSR. And that's AMD's technology to where I personally don't like it. I appreciate it a lot because the frame rates it provides. But man, it makes stuff hard to look. It makes stuff hard to look at. It makes shit hard. I mean, man, there'd be some things. It'd be looking like them, like the AI filter, like some like it's leftover graininess, like the pixelization. It is bad. FSR is bad sometimes. It looks bad, but its function on a smaller screen like the deck can be used to make games that shouldn't be playable, portably playable, like Stalker 2. I shouldn't be playing that outside. There's no reason I should be able to be playing Stalker 2 outside. This Oblivion remake. Seen some people figured out a way to get it to run at a stable close to 40. If you can get something locked 40, you can get an experience handheld that feels like 60 with the responsiveness and in a portable form factor. The plane ride crazy. The plane ride crazy. Then we got PC ports because it's a handheld PC and you can install Windows to it. That's where the whole that's that side of the field. But then the other side is just as strong. Nintendo got what? Mario Kart, nigga. Smash. Zelda. F-Zero. But then as a Nintendo fan, you know what's missing? F-Zero. They did good with Smash. They got to do better with Zelda. That next Zelda, they got to do better. And I can say that because I spent that 70 and I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have. I should not have spent that 70 on that Tears. I should not have given that dead. I shouldn't have did it. I shouldn't have did it because they make the money from the games, not the consoles. I shouldn't have gave them that 70. I don't know why I did it. I did it. I shouldn't have did it, but I did it. And I put 300 hours in it. I'm not going to act like it was all bad. 70% of it was great. But that 30% pissed me off. So I gave the game a C. But that game being a C brought down the Switch's offering for Zelda. But even that's only a B because Skyward Sword running at 60, nigga, like. Skyward Sword running at 60 made it equal to Twilight. I dare somebody to say something again. I dare somebody to say something. Boy, I dare somebody to say something against it. Skyward Sword running at 60 is equal to Twilight. What's up? What's up? There will be no sass. There will be no sass. There will be no talk back. No. That Skyward Sword HD. Bravo. Bravo. That's some bravo. That's some bravo. Let's see here. Let me pull up chat now. Because this is... Okay. So it can actually show me. I can't respond back to nothing. That's okay. Okay. We're looking good. Making sure that's streaming right. Okay. But man, it's truly impressive that the Switch 2 is coming out in about, I think it's 40 days? Yeah, I think 40 days until it releases. And then from there, we're going to get a better look at what Nintendo is really going to do with the next 10 years. Because this setup here is going to be the last console for a lot of the OG Nintendo alumni. We talking the 40-year veterans. Because Miyamoto already retired. Miyamoto's retired. I don't even think he technically doesn't work at Nintendo anymore. He I think he damn near a contractor at this point. But he working on the movies and the theme parks. So he's in a whole nother side of Nintendo now. He don't work over here with us no more. But he also still got the hand on the back of the neck of the people handling the property. So I think that's where his presence is needed, because he designed all these joints. So with him being at the helm of them being created at a higher budget, his presence is needed there. So I couldn't see a better outcome for the OG in that sense. Nintendo is not your friend. Always remember that. That shit is going to be the biggest part of understanding how to navigate gaming and fun in all this entire landscape of technology. Always remember that none of these companies, they are companies. It has zero emotion. The humans behind it got their own families to feed, and they're going to pledge loyalty to the one signing their checks. They're not worried about you or me. The truth of the matter is the creators and the creatives are the ones that should be worried about us. And that's now up to if those folks are going to pick up that task. That's between them and their God. Whoever they pray to at night. All I pray to God through the power of Jesus Christ is that these people have good intentions and not trying to sabotage gaming. That's it. And the design philosophies, I hope, are passed down well. And I think that can be shown in whatever Donkey Kong Bonanza looks like. If that is actually the Odyssey team, I hope that, from what I found out, that they actually came from Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed team, that the people that worked at Sonic team then that somehow moved to the Odyssey team. I need to do more research in between them to see if they just went from Pow Pow, went from Unleashed to Odyssey. But if it went like that, the people working there went there. And if they're working on Bonanza, that will be a new gauge for whatever the next Mario will look like. I sense positivity in all of this, but I also am set up to pull out at any moment financially, because I'm not spending $80 on games. So like Bonanza, I'm not playing that shit day one. I refuse. Unless I'm gifted the game goes on sale. I have like something got to align for me to get that, but I'm not planning on buying. I'm not buying any physical games that are above $59.99 USD with the full game on the cart. And I'm thinking about giving Cyberpunk the pass because that's the DLC. And if I'm correct, let me actually pull up Steam real quick. If I'm correct with Cyberpunk, base game is $60, $59.99, and Phantom Liberty is $30. If I am correct, they are giving us the game and the DLC and all of the patches on full-on cart for $70. I'm accepting that. And I think we should all accept that, because that's the game plus the DLC at an acceptable performance level portably, all in one right there. We don't need to download nothing. We don't need to connect to the internet except to link our saves from their cloud service, because it's cross save. So I got 500 hours in Cyberpunk. My save can come with me on there. I'm thinking about getting, that's what I'm supporting. So it's like the price gotta make sense. And if we're gonna go beyond 60, it has to make sense. It has to extend that game. So like the Elden Ring collection, whenever that comes out, the Tarnished Edition, if the full game ain't on that cart, I'm not buying it. And I'm going to suggest you don't either. I'm against the key card thing. If it is at $60, but that don't have the full game on the cart, we're not buying it. And by we is those I speak for and those that will accept my spoke. These words and actions, because the words mean shit without the action. And that's why I speak in post terms. I already been doing this shit for the past 9 years, damn near 10 years. I've been practicing this. I've been moving like this. I've been doing this 10 years and been publicly speaking on the status of preservation, emulation, representation, with no hesitation. Slight meditation, slight meditation. We all need to do better. But I do think that we are doing better than we think we are. It's just about planning now and execution and mindfulness. Mindfulness is key. Keeping your head on a swivel. Don't get too comfortable. I think being comfortable is what really throws off a lot of our own plans. Even when it comes to gaming, even when it comes to personal relationships, in and outs. You get too comfortable in certain things, you'll let certain things slide and you'll start missing things. You'll start to forget about subscriptions. Man, where does $15 come from? Look back, they've been charging your ass for 6 months. Don't get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. But keep loving your hearts and drink a shit ton of water. Hell yes.